Hello, everyone. Let's talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp. Well, I am not giving out any spoilers because the movie came out 2 days ago, and I feel that I guess it's not appropriate to give spoilers this soon. So, with that being said, I'm going to have a general reaction to the film. I did not like it. I felt I am a person who watches Star Wars, but I am not an avid watcher of Star Wars. I have never gotten into Star Wars. I absolutely hate the different people, different creatures and cretins. I have a thing, and the older that I get, the more it is a thing. Oh, my hair's all around. Um, Little balls clustered together, it creeps me out. So there's a lot of characters in this film where there's a lot of clusters. If I wanted to watch a Star Wars movie, then I would go see a Star Wars movie. But this is a Marvel movie. It is not a Star Wars movie. So I was thoroughly disappointed that I was sitting and watching a Star Wars movie. And so I was disappointed, to say the very least. My level of disappointment was extremely high. Um, I mean, there were so many Star Wars references with the way that the world looked in the quantum realm. I was thoroughly surprised that how that the one of the previews for this movie in getting into the quantum realm is literally happens in the very close to the beginning. And so like 90% of this movie is in the quantum realm, maybe more than 90%. I do think that the acting was good. I think Jonathan Majors was terrific. I liked Michelle Pfeiffer. I thought that um Paul Rudd did a pretty good job. I like don't have any real complaints about any of the acting at all. Evangeline Lilly, like I think that the acting is Michael Douglas is actually not the issue at all. But what I do think is the issue is the story. I thought the story was pretty drab. I think what would have made this a little bit better is that I would have like the reveals in this movie are things that I really don't care about. Very disappointing. I do think that it is kind of cool that you do have Randall Park show up again. So that's kind of nice. It's the connectivity between this and WandaVision. And so there is some level of connectivity kind of coming through. But as a whole, I mean, he started in Ant-Man, but then he was in WandaVision and he shows up in Ant-Man as a friend of Scott Lang's. But as a whole, I was very underwhelmed with this movie, and I do think Kang was well put together. That part of it was fine. I'm not sure how believable I felt with him being against Ant-Man, like that kind of combo is a little weird and strange. I just, kind of struggle with all of that aspect. So, and even I don't want to give too much away, so I'm not gonna how even the attack, the fight with Kang, I struggled with part of that too. I do think that this attempt to be more serious, and even though Ant-Man historically Ant-Man and the Wasp, like both of the two Ant-Man 1 and 2 is a little bit in tone, is a little more light-hearted. This one's a little bit more serious. I just feel that the consequence, the tie-in, the ending was underwhelming. And I feel that it didn't do enough to give the reader a nice kick for the next thing. I think I've said this before with another. I think my last review on Marvel was Thunder, Love, and Thor, and I think it's important. I'm going to probably keep saying stuff like this. Is that I'm very disappointed in how Marvel is trying to convince us that we don't need to like what we like. They're trying to convince us to like something else. And so they keep shoving something down our throat that we don't want. And I don't like that. I really don't. So I'm hoping something shifts. So with that being said, I mean, I know that we have another movie with Guardians of the Galaxy coming out, and I honestly have very low expectations because Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 were cool, but they're not the same thing that I would anticipate. I'm so I guess I have high expectations for Miss Marvel, but honestly, there's nothing I'm not excited for anything except Captain America coming out next year. And I'm, Marvel is losing its charm with the risks that they're taking. They're doing so many different risks, and I don't see how this is panning out to be as successful as it should be. So, with that being said, if you like Star Wars, you'll love the movie. If you don't, if Star Wars is kind of okay, then the movie's going to be kind of okay for you. So.